Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to My String of Pearls. We are on episode 11 today.
Yeah.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
We are so happy to be back. We have tried really hard to get here
For
several times
now.
since, what was it, September last one?
Yeah, it was September. Yes. And Halloween came and went. And we were thinking about all the fun things Halloween brings, and
it's it's been busy. It's been a really fast fall, but I digress. My name is Myoka.
And my name is Linda.
And Linda's my mom.
And Myoka is my daughter.
Aren't I lucky?
I'm lucky too.
We are on episode 11, like we said, and we've had a ton of new followers the last little while.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for finding our little corner of the internet. And if you would like to find us a little bit further, I am on Instagram as my.stringofpearls.
And I'm on Instagram, Linda Purls.
And of course, we'll have that all at the bottom here. We also have a Ravelry group, which is My String of Pearls, trying to keep it easy for you. There's a Ravelry group, and then I have my own My String of Pearls. It's just kind of my Ravelry name at this point. And Mom, you're on Ravelry as L Pearl.
L Pearl.
Yes. Yeah. So of course we'll have
Pearl.
all that up there for you. And maybe I'll try and link it below. Someone asked if I could do that before, and I know I can. It just, at the end of the day of editing and podcasting, you don't think about editing.
It happens. Yeah.
So
we're human.
that is where you can find us everywhere else except for here. Like we said, it's been a really busy, fast fall. I feel like it was a short fall.
It was a short fall.
Yeah.
Because we had fall and the leaves haven't even come off the trees, and then it snowed.
We had a really early snowfall in the middle of October.
Yes. And the leaves, some of the leaves are still on the trees. The wind's trying to blow them off, and they are just hanging tight.
So now we are middle of November, and it has snowed again over the last week and a bit, and I think it's here to stay now.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sunny day today, but it's crisp. So it was funny because we kept intending to podcast, and so I had like little clips of pumpkins and all these different things, and I was trying to make space in my phone as we always have to do, and I actually just deleted all that footage because
I'll have a little bit to share.
Do you? Okay, that's good, because I thought, well, you know what, we missed that window of that season, and we're still on to the next one.
On to the next one. Let's go.
Sweater weather.
Let's crack on.
Yeah, exactly. But we have been well. We have been well. I've been working a lot.
As I have too.
I was working a lot. And lots of knitting time. So that's been lovely.
Some knitting time.
Yeah, some making time to knit.
Yes. Yeah. And the projects that I have on the go are not very complicated at all. So then the little things go fast and it's rewarding.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So busy. Happy to be here.
Yep. Yeah.
You were saying, we had early snowfall, fall was short, and we got our hot tub working.
Yes, and so nice. I've been in it once.
There was discussion of podcasting from the hot tub. We figured the yarn would get too wet, and
usually we're in the evening, and the lighting's not very good. Yeah. So unless we're just making vanilla socks, holding them up like this.
Yeah. At least our hands wouldn't get pretty, right? So.
Right, that's true. Maybe we'll have to try that and see if it's possible,
exactly,
get a kind of a floaty tray with our yarn on it.
Yeah. I get to show off my new plant behind us. This is a ficus tree.
Look at that.
It has undergone a very thorough haircut. I got it off of our buy and sell from a lady. I think I paid like $40 or $50 for it, which normally they're a few hundred. And it had a very vigorous haircut, and a lot of people said to me that they are very finicky plants and they will drop their leaves when you move them. It has been really, really, really happy. So
you have a nice spot for it.
It's beautiful on the window there.
And I've had a really nice surprise, as some of you have Christmas cactuses or Easter cactuses, whichever you want to call them. Mine just went crazy with the blossoms all over it. And I have a plant, and I don't know the name of it. It's kind of a succulent, and I've had it for years. And I got it from an elderly lady, and she passed away, and I got part of this plant.
Looks kind of like a Christmas cactus.
But the leaves, it's unusual. I'll take a picture of it and show you. But mine finally flowered. previously I've given a piece to my friend, and hers flowered because it's on a south window, and it had these beautiful blossoms on it. And she says, "Oh, it's so beautiful, it's so beautiful." And like mine, I smelled it. It smelled like garbage and like dead meat. It was so gross.
We were at dinner and Mom said, "Smell this plant, it stinks." I said, "Okay, first of all, you don't lead with that." I know I'm not smelling it. And then my husband tried to smell it, but his nose he doesn't smell very good.
But it smells more in the daytime. It has that really strong smell. But it's closed up and there's another blossom. I'll show you a picture of it, like I said, but it's very unusual.
So if anybody knows the name of the plant,
let us know.
Yeah.
And if you're not too far away, I could give you a piece.
Yeah.
Just breaks up.
COVID-friendly sharing, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We love plants, if you cannot tell.
Yes.
String of pearls started it all.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes our homes happier
and healthier too, because of the air cleaner. And it's really nice.
The one expression I've heard and Matt, my husband, refers to a lot is we are losing a game of Jumanji in our home because we have a plant or 15 in every room.
Yes, and I remember when I was very young and I didn't have any kids, and it was jungle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a jungle, but really nice to be able to take that time to learn about plants and enjoy them, watch them grow, and see what they're going to do, and
it's just amazing
transplant.
Yeah, like I feel like in the garden outside you get your season with it, and then that's over, right? Versus a plant inside, like it's always growing and you transplant it. And I have plants from when Matt and I first moved in together that my mother-in-law gifted to me. It's a money tree, and it's like a money bush now. Like it's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's
and
huge.
my grandma's Hoya, and anyway, we can talk about plants the whole time.
And I see that you have amaryllis started and blossoms
I do.
coming
That
up.
was from my other mother-in-law.
It's
my
lovely.
other mother-in-law. I have two. I'm a lucky girl. And it was already starting to blossom a little bit in the box that I got it in. So
very nice. That'll be lovely.
Anyway, I think we came here to talk about knitting.
Oh yes, knitting.
Plants,
back to knitting. Yes. Well, we've been going on creek walks outdoors in the snow. Just trying to be outside as much as possible with the pandemic.
One thing is keeping me really busy. Sorry, I cut you off there.
It's okay.
I'm taking piano lessons again.
Yes.
And every day.
Every day practice. Yeah. Good girl.
So taking lessons once a week and learning that my left hand is a little tardy. Rusty, tardy. It's slow.
It's slow. It just won't do.
It's one thing to tell your hands to do something, like knit. Mm-hmm. But then if you're telling your left hand to go nice and quick and fast, and you're telling your right hand to go nice and slow and smooth, and then hit the right notes.
Yeah, it's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy.
Totally.
Ugh.
And then you do it a different way. And so I'm enjoying it. It is definitely more difficult than I expected. It's definitely an interesting thing to be an adult and like
taking
practice
lessons
every day. I think I told you one thing, my piano teacher sent out like this thing that said, highly encourage parents to attend all lessons and blah, 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 blah. And I said to her, yeah, my mom would love to come to a lesson, I'm sure. She's put her time in, I'm sure. But at least you don't have to tell me to practice every day.
No, you have to do that on your own.
So I'm doing that, and then I've started like a strength program just because not being outside in the winter in the garden, I always notice at work I'm not as strong, and so I've started like a strength exercise program. So that is keeping me busy.
Yes.
It's good though.
But what we've both been doing too is spending more time in the kitchen because we spend less time at restaurants and hardly no time at restaurants. And so cooking more. I've tasted Myoka's pumpkin scones.
I can share that recipe.
Yeah.
It's not my recipe. It's just one that I've been gifted from my sister-in-law, but we've made them a few times.
Yes. And then there's a butternut squash recipe, soup recipe that I'm going to try that she passed on. And I purchased a book online, a cookbook, which I hardly ever buy cookbooks. Can I show the book?
Yeah, you can show.
It's Vivian Howard. It was on Instagram, and this will make it taste good. Well, let me tell you, there's some dishes in there that make things taste really good. There is one recipe in there, and I can't show you the picture. I'll get Myoka to take a picture of the picture. It's called...
You can show just this here.
Steak Salad of Gao. Here, I have to go like this.
It's okay. I'll just go like this.
Now look at that. It's got arugula in it and sauerkraut. Oh man, I would like sauerkraut. I'm okay with sauerkraut, but I was very concerned that it wasn't going to taste very good. But oh man, gotta make it for you guys.
Yeah.
It's so good. And my husband's not too excited about arugula.
But you put the sauerkraut in, he was fine.
And he made beautiful
a steak
mousse tenderloin on the top. Oh, it's just delicious. Oh, we just couldn't get enough of it. Anyways, we've been eating and trying new recipes and
exercising to get rid of the eating
and walking and
It's good. It's good.
But we're cracking on.
Yeah, cracking on. Okay, we are knitters.
Yes,
Yay!
we are. Yes, we are.
And I have showed this time and time again, but this is the Bennett sisters shawl. This was my wedding shawl. I knit this to wear for our wedding evening, and I did. I believe it's the Bennett sisters shawl by Lindsay Fowler.
And it's got these lovely tassels.
The lovely
on
little
it.
tassels, which I've had to reattach a couple of times, but it's just kind of one of my go-tos. This one and the Kyler, and that's what I'm wearing today.
Yes, and this is kind of out of the drawer segment. This is a vest stop that I made many years ago, probably even before you were born. I'm not sure. An old yarn store that was in our local area. And they had this, toothy yarn, and it's really toothy. And I made this vest, and it's just a big cable up the front. I got this far, the yarn store closed, stuck. So I did the back, I did it up to here, and I asked a friend, can you help me? So she took it, and she made the rest up here. And then I did the edging. So I have no idea what it's called, because I figured I'm never going to make it again because it was too complicated and I wasn't very experienced at that time. So, but I still wear it because it's nice and warm. It's not too warm though because hot chicks, get too hot. And then this is a scarf. I got it when I was in Arizona visiting my mom and her husband when they were there. And it's made of silk. It's lovely. I left my notes at home, so you will see what it's called down here.
The theme of today's podcast is...
Linda forgot.
Her patterns. Or she doesn't have one.
Or I make it up.
Yeah.
So this is really lovely. It's show it you more. It's so soft. You can wear it summer and winter. And it's got these eyelets on it. And with the... cut it out.
I'm just trying to find the next thing I want to show.
Anyway, so that's what I'm wearing today, and I'm happy with it. And there we go. So
we will link it. Yeah, it'll be
down below.
Right here.
There, over there. Yeah. Okay.
Just giving her a hard time because what pattern's that? I left that at home.
Yeah.
Oh, what pattern? I don't have
that one at home.
I don't even know. I just made it up.
Moving on, cracking on. I always want to say that. The folks in the UK, I love that you say, just cracking on.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's talk about some finished objects.
Okay, finished objects.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, as you know, we have had Halloween, and the year before I bought some beautiful yarn to make pumpkins. So look at that pumpkin. So this year I made it.
It should be like, there you go.
You can make it, push it whichever way you want. So I've made 7 pumpkins. Pass them on. You got one.
I got one. It's already put away.
My granddaughter got one.
Yeah.
I shared it as a hostess gift. And it's made with Estelle yarns. And the name of the pattern will be right here.
We found it. It was the Autumn Pumpkins by Jan Lewis.
There you go.
We did find that one.
So I made 7 of those, and they're really fun. And I have a picture of 3 of them on the fence with my lamb Lenny. So I'll show you that too.
The lamb.
Yeah. So that was fun.
That's cool. And thanks so much for that. It was funny. I'd get up in the morning and it wouldn't be on the table because I had kind of a display on our table of my felt pumpkins and my leaves and stuff like that. And where did Mom's pumpkin go? The cat Sullivan also really liked the pumpkin.
Yes.
Became a little bit more felted. It's a little bit.
It's very
There's
light.
A halo to it now because there's little claws.
It's just.
I put the
stuffing.
Halloween and fall stuff away just last week because it was kind of there's some stuff behind us, but anyway.
And what have you got?
So I think one of the only finished objects that I can really show today are my new socks because I've been doing some gift knitting and I can't really show all of it. So,
spoil the surprise. Oh, look at those.
These are the shorty socks. These are the jelly roll socks, and I can't remember the name of the designer right now. Rose City? I can't remember. I'll link it as usual. But I have been blessed with sweet little small feet. And so I started knitting these. I did them on double pointed needles. I started knitting them on a Wednesday evening. I was wearing them by Saturday.
And what size needle did you use? Do you recall?
No, I don't know.
Small. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so this is the Scrumptious Purl colorway. This is my very first stripy, self-striping yarn that I've used. And it was just like followed the pattern to a T. I did the smallest size and then I just go right, I think just by my pinky toe, and then I go up. And they have a couple different options for a rounded toe or a kind of like that triangle-y one.
Yes, yes.
So I chose the rounded because I have very rounded toes. And it was almost perfect. Like you can see just a little bit of the difference in the striping on the toes there. And that was just all the little roll down cup here. So really fun. Like I said, this was the Scrumptious Purl. My very first time knitting with Scrumptious Purl. And then my very first time knitting with self-striping yarn. It was a blast. It was so much fun. I have a ton left. I didn't weigh this, but I'm pretty sure I could get at least another pair of socks.
Yeah, for sure.
Out of here. And then I was even thinking like a little baby beanie or something. It would be super cute with that.
It would have narrow stripes. Probably, but that would be beautiful.
Yeah,
that would look really nice.
So that's my little sockies, and I've worn them a couple of times and washed them just cold water and like hung to dry, and they're holding up really, really well.
Look at that. And I have purchased some Scrumptious Purl that I'm anxious to get at. I'm saving them for December. The first time I'm going to cast on some of their stripy socks.
Can you do me a favor?
Huh?
Can you open this?
Open this?
Yeah, I started on the bottom a little bit for you.
For me?
Well, just open it and you'll find out.
Noisy.
No.
Ooh, what's going on here?
No peeking.
No peeking. Oh my goodness, no peeking, but can I?
Yeah, you can peek.
I'm excited. It says 24 stripe advent skein, no peeking. Please do not open till December 1st. Oh my goodness.
I think we should open it.
I think we should open it. Oh, Myoka, this is exciting. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you very much.
This is from the Cozy Knitter.
Oh my goodness.
TheCozyKnitter.com. I know you bought some Scrumptious Purl for your stuff, but
I might have to cast on several pairs.
one thing I really wanted to do myself was an advent skein.
Oh,
and I knew it was going to be hard to get, and so there was a pre-order quite a while ago, and it just showed up last week. So it was kind of good that we haven't podcasted because
that's so lovely.
Yeah, so Merry Christmas.
For these, you knit one stripe every day. How does it work? Or is it? Yeah,
I believe that's how it goes. There should be 24 stripe skeins. So,
oh my goodness, that's going to be so fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's very nice.
So you can knit your Scrumptious Purl whenever you want because this is.
I've got like several pairs of socks that I can just cast right on now. Are you just going to do a vanilla sock?
I think so.
Then you'll show off the stripes.
So. Show off the stripes, and I might even just do the shorties again because I really I wear those the most.
Yes. Well, talking about socks, I might have to postpone this project. We're not really finished the that part, but I was going to use some of Amanda's Sweet Skein of Mine yarn that's left over from my rocket tee that I made. And
the color's not showing up very good on that,
showing up. So, but I have these from Scrumptious Purl. I have these lovely colors, and I was trying to figure out what color I should use for the heel and the toe.
Okay, so looking on the screen, this one looks nice, but looking in person, I would go with the orange.
I was thinking the orange too.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit of a contrast. This is just doesn't do any justice. And the red is just too deep. So the orange. So, another pair of socks. So,
Surprise!
yes, that's a wonderful surprise. And so, we're talking about finished objects.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, we'll come back
I was
to
going to
socks.
wait till the end with that, but we were just talking about your Advent skein, and I just had to. And I'm going to put a little spoiler alert in the video. I'm going to stop and say spoiler alert because some people may not have received their yarn and don't know what it looks like.
Yes.
And I couldn't really spoiler with Mom. So post spoiler, obviously now. But
Yes.
if you
better
didn't
do
catch
that,
that, I'm really sorry. I'll stop it and put spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Just so you know if you want to be surprised.
So
yeah.
moving on to finished projects. Still. Aprons?
Yeah, because I can't show.
I've got my socks. These are flame wave socks. You will also see these in the description box. Where are we? Here.
It'll be right here. Yeah.
And these are the second pair that I made for my lovely friend. These are cotton socks. And they're called fixation yarn. Or they're cotton, it's cotton yarn and it's fixation. And they're cotton and spandex. So she'll be having warm feet. She can't wear wool because she gets highly allergic to it. So,
but this is quite nice. Like, I am very particular about not feeling my socks on my feet. That's why I don't do any sort of pattern on the bottom. And like, you can hardly see. Well, there's no holes at all. They feel very warm. And it's such a smooth fabric. Like, it's really nice. And there's, really very nice
and
knitting.
You know what? Thank you. This is my fourth pair of these socks. Stretch it a little bit. And you can see there's a bit of a wave in there.
Yeah.
And I might just use this pattern to make just socks with regular wool sock yarn. So... yeah, so that's, and then, here, I'm going to do this some more. That goes at the bottom.
So you knit her two pairs, right?
I
You already
knit
gave her one?
Yes, the other
were
ones were blue, and I think I've
did you
saved
show
pictures
those?
of those.
Yeah.
And then
This
these
was
ones a second pair.
A, what do you call it, knitting contract. She contracted you to knit some socks.
Yeah. And in the pattern, it takes, in the written pattern, it takes the pattern down through the foot here. And I decided just to stop there. So, it makes sense. So, I do have another FO by my mama. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Grandma.
She gets cold legs, calves, and ankles. And she asked if I would make her some leg warmers. So, these are the leg warmers that I made for her. And they stretch really lots. It starts out at knit 3, purl 2, and I did a little bit of decreasing through here to the bottom, but it's still very stretchy. So now that I've shown you, I can go and give them to her, and she can have warm ankles and calves all through the winter.
Wonderful.
So,
and this is a pattern that you followed?
I followed a bit of a pattern. It was a cast on of 55 or 60 stitches.
We'll link the pattern that
that
you started with. Yeah.
And then it's kind of like my own. It's quite straightforward and simple. I did any decreases you do in the purl part. So then you really don't see them. So
Cool.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes.
Lots of socks.
Socks, little projects like we had said. Okay, and that's it.
That's it for your socks?
Oh, I wanted to answer a question. One of our viewers asked a question about adding an extra thread in the heel so that it doesn't heel in bottom of your foot, so it doesn't.
Yeah, we've talked about this previous, but didn't really go into description about it. And I know Gina. Hi, Gina.
Hi. Hope you're feeling better.
Yes. I know she'd asked you and you answered her directly, but we've had a few other questions about it as well, and I couldn't answer it, and so I thought we'll just talk about it on the podcast.
So these are my worn socks, so you'll have to excuse the felting and the pilling, etc., etc. But I wear these socks a lot. I wear my socks until they absolutely die, and then sometimes I just use the cuff. So these socks have a double layer, and you can see them here. Hope that I've added a second, this way, second fiber. Can you see that? So there is a
see
difference.
kind of the fuzz hanging out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it here. This is the outside, and I've taken it all the way. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it sort of stops in this area here, that there's only one strand of thread or of yarn, and it's very loosely. You can see my nails through there. This is the part that I didn't use the second thread. So
you do it on the heel and the toe, or just the whole bottom of the foot?
When I start to turn the heel, then I do. Now this is really disgusting, but
no, it's not. It's clean. They're clean socks.
They're clean socks.
They don't smell, I promise.
It's got the second layer of thread. Pardon me, I keep saying thread, yarn, and then I just, I guess whichever side you started on, you put your thread yarn in. Okay. You knit along, so you've got this piece hanging out here. You knit along, and then you cut your piece, well, a little bit about that long on either side. Like
so you just knit across, cut.
Yeah. Knit across, cut.
Do
the top, knit across, or add, knit across, cut, and add. And so you do that all around the hole from the heel. You can do the heel without changing. And then you would just do it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, all the way into the toe, whatever you feel. But you will know where you wear your socks out most, fastest. Mm-hmm. Can't even talk today.
It's okay.
And so that's how it's done. So you get all those little bits all around the edge of the heel, like so. You get these little, here's a good example.
Yeah.
You can see them. Sometimes they felt, and if it really bothers you, after a couple of washings, just trim them off. They're not going anywhere.
And it's not like it's your main yarn. So even if it unravels, it's not going to unravel a hole in your sock. It's just going to lose a layer.
Bit, yes. Yeah. And sometimes it felts, like I said, and sometimes it just stays there.
Because you hold it double strand, right? You hold the new
and the
piece with your, so say you're knitting with this already. You're going around, and then you add in your other piece, and you double strand them.
And I would use a really, really thin yarn like this. Sometimes some socks yarn comes with really, really thin second layer of yarn. Or if you can take your main color, the color that you're using, and take some of the plies apart and just use part of the plies. So then it's not really thick. My thick socks I wear with just certain boots and certain shoes because they don't always fit. So you have to keep in mind too that if you're going to wear your thick socks, you have to figure out what you're going to wear them in, or just around the house, whatever works. So I do that on quite a few pair of my own. I don't really do it on other people's socks because I don't know their preferences. I do have a pair of, these are
Coffee Doc
socks from Tracy Millar, and I followed her pattern, and how these you can see how it fuzzies at the side, and even if they do stick out, you can trim them off. They're not going anywhere. They're just not going to unravel or anything. So I started that right at the heel here. This is a different kind of a heel than I normally use, but it'll work just fine all the way up, right into the toes. So they last longer, less holes.
Hopefully that answers your question of how.
The long version of.
We might even have to do like a little tutorial of while you're knitting a sock, just to do that, right? Let us know if that's something you would like, a little sock tutorial. I think that was a good explanation. It makes understand for me, but I'm not a wonderful person with words.
Because I'm a tactile girl.
Yeah. Okay. And just wanted to mention too, if the light is kind of coming in and out, it's just really sunny outside. We do have the blinds down, but as it kind of comes and goes behind the clouds, it might be kind of dimming and lighting for us. So
and thank you for that question, the gal. I won't say your name, but thank you for that question, and I'm more than happy to answer that for you.
We had another quick question. We're on questions before I forget. If you have any questions for us, of course, please let us know. Instagram, Ravelry, on our group. That's kind of where a lot of them come in. Well, if it's anything pertinent, is that a word? Pertinent? Yeah. We will answer you right away. And if it's anything kind of interesting that the rest of our podcast crew would like to know, we'll answer it on here. And so one that we've had asked is my name. So Myoka, of course you've seen it spelled out before,
Mm-hmm.
is Japanese. So I am quarter Japanese. My grandfather was full. He came over on a boat
To Victoria, BC.
with his family when he was a young boy. And then dad is half, and so I'm quarter.
Yes. And when we used to have, our family used to have host exchange students from Japan. And we started talking to a few of them about names. And this is before Myoka, or when Myoka was coming along, or just before she came along. And we wanted to give her a Japanese-like name. So we got all sorts of names.
Sisters didn't get.
Well, Alicia kind of did. Her middle name is Denja,
Yeah.
which is a Japanese name changed into the feminine. Denji is a Japanese name, and her middle name is Denja. And so we had all these names: Kyoko, Miyoko, Kyoko. And in Japan, this is what I understand, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong, that males have their names, last names, end in A. And females have their names end in O, or maybe that might be the traditional way. And we just thought Miyoko, or it was going to be Kyoko is what we started with. Changed it around: Kyoko, Miyoko, Kyoka, Myoka, Myoka.
Don't say your last name.
I won't say your last name. I almost did. And it rhymed with her last name.
Yeah.
So we gave her that name, and that's how she came along. And it's an original name. I've only seen it a couple of times.
I have never met anyone with the same name.
Nope.
It's spelled Myoka, and I don't know why you did it that way, because nobody knows how to spell my name correctly.
And they say Myoka.
Myoka. And I've actually had people say, your parents spelt your name wrong. I'm like, well, you can talk to them about that. And I've actually had people like correct me, like, oh, it's Myoka. I'm like, yeah, sure. You can call me that if you
When
like.
you were little, you didn't like your name.
I actually hated my name growing up.
Yeah.
I really did. It was because it rhymed with my last name. Anytime over like the announcements, Myoka, there's a
something
message for you at the office. People would make fun of me. It was very different. I grew up with a lot of Michelles and Ashleys and Amandas and stuff like that. And so, yeah, growing up, it was awful. I really did not like it.
And how do you like it now?
Now it's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's unique and everyone comments on it. But you just, when you're little, you don't want to stand out.
Yeah, well, Linda, when I was going to school, at one class I was in, there was 5 Lindas.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to do that to you
It's
either.
okay now, definitely. Like I'm not burdened by it, and I'm not hurt by my childhood bullying for my name. But
And something that I'll have to tell you, this is a little story. She, when she was a little girl and she was learning to speak, she couldn't say her name. So she was asked, well, what's your name? Meatma. So she called, as we
Dad
called her
still
Meatma.
calls me that sometimes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so sweet.
So that's where my name came from. That's why it's a little bit different. And yes, there is a little bit of Japanese in our heritage.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hope that answers that question.
Here we go.
That was all the questions kind of that we had.
I think so, yeah.
From our plastic.
Back
to knitting.
Works in progress.
Yeah.
Did you have any works in progress?
I do.
Oh, no, you have some FOs.
Oh,
you forgot that.
We'll talk about those a little bit in a different bit. I do have some works in progress.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really done too much on my night shift just because I've been distracted with other things, so I'm not going to show that because it hasn't changed too much. But oh my gosh,
look at this yarn.
I caved. Linen quill, half and half triangles wrap. So there's only 2 here and there's 3 here. This is kettle black and this is salt and pepper.
Oh, it's beautiful. Sure.
So for those of you who are not aware, Caddy Jack's podcast and Debbie Korb, they've started like a half and half triangles wrap. Knit along. So it's a half wrap cal is what it's called on Ravelry and Instagram. And I was humming and hawing about it. And did you bring your linen quill?
I didn't because I haven't done anything like that.
humming and hawing about it. I just wasn't too sure. And I think I had the discussion on the podcast and just knitting and whatnot. And then Linen Quill had I think it was free shipping possibly, and a great sale from Pearl Soho.
There you got hooked again, girl.
So I said to Mom, I think I'm going to do it. I'm right in the middle of a row.
That's okay.
I'm going to do it. Would you like any linen quill? And so Mom got a beautiful kind of reddy orange
yes.
color.
I'm going to make a sweater with it.
Mm-hmm. And so I am one skein in.
Come close.
Gotta make sure I don't lose my needle stitches here. So it's
so nice.
Like I said, if you're not aware of it, it is straight knitting. You come to a certain stitch marker and you do a short row and you turn around and you go back and you knit and knit and knit and knit and knit.
It's a no-brainer kind of thing. Yeah.
And one thing that Caitlin and Jackie from Caddy Jacks, they talk about, there's my inhale, they say. So just with the world that we are living in right now, one thing for me especially is finding that time to knit. It has been very therapeutic. During COVID, during the lockdown, everything. And when I feel like I need a break and some space and some mental just fluidity of the knitting, you knit. And once you come to your marker of your short row,
deep breath.
You just inhale and you breathe and you let it all out and you knit back and forth. And it's something like you don't think about it. You just do your...
You're just wiggling the tape.
Oh, sorry. You just do your knitting and that's it. So
that's next.
This is going to be next.
The other half.
Yeah. So you knit with your 3 skeins and then the 3 skeins. It's really sweet because Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine, she normally chooses bright pink. She loves pink.
Mm-hmm. It looks so good on her too.
It looks so good on her with her sweet cheeks and everything. And we have the same colors.
Of course you do.
I knew, I saw the colors, and I'm very much just very basic, neutral. I thought about going crazy, and I just thought, I could, but I just won't wear it. And so I chose mine, and then it was fun. I think she commented on mine, or I commented on hers, like, hey, we're gonna twin. And so the coolest thing about this is the knit along is not... Like, it's not like you have to be done in 3 months. I think it's like a whole year-long knit along.
Is it?
Because this is such a long project.
And it's big. Lots
and
of
it's
knitting.
Big. And so I kind of treated myself. So I knit a skein. It was wonderful. Went faster than I expected it to. And then I went and knit some socks and a couple other different things. And now I'm actually going to today wind up my other skein. My mother-in-law had this conversation the other day is the boys thought we were crazy, but we don't wind up all of our skeins for our project at once. I personally am very more attracted to the aesthetic of a skein rather than a ball or a cake. And so when we're working on a project, because you don't know, it might not be done this month. It might not be done till 2 years from now, right? I prefer the storage of a skein, and I just think the aesthetic of the beauty is so much nicer.
It is beautiful.
It is. And so, yeah, she agreed that she doesn't wind up her next skein until she needs it, unless you're going somewhere or something like that. But I'm going to wind up my next kettle black today and join that in. And this yarn, you guys, they are not joking. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
This is 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, 15% linen. Linen quill from Pearl Soho. Beautiful. Highly recommend it. I actually want a sweater in it because it's just...
That's what I want to do. I have to...
Yeah.
It's so hard to have so much beautiful yarn you want to cast on.
Yeah.
And then you just... not enough time. I'll put this one back together again.
Oh.
Just take apart.
So, yeah, that's kind of one of my ongoing projects.
Mm-hmm.
And just... I would almost say like the knitting meditation behind it has been really, really nice. I enjoy it a lot.
Yes.
And at the end of a long day, you feel like picking up your knitting, and sometimes you don't want to think about the knitting and just want to pick it up and go. Although the dark color is hard in the evenings, but that's okay.
Yes.
So that's kind of all my works in progress right now.
Well, I have my Missoni accomplished sweater. I did get the extra ball of yarn, but it's still waiting for me. And I think, should I do that or should I do some other things?
That was such a nice one.
And so I started a hat. I was someone passed on some yarn, some bulky yarn for me, and so excuse me, reaching down. I have this beautiful. Yeah, these ones are not the best.
I'll have a look because I believe I have that size in exchangeable, the Knitter's Pride.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
I don't have that big a size.
I think I do.
So I've got this bulky yarn that's been passed on to me, and I was making a hat. Now this looks crazy silly, but like Myoka's gonna see if she has the needles I need in a circular, which would make life a lot easier. So I'm starting that one, and I have
An Evening at Julie's
pattern
by Katie Pomper.
Yes, so it's got a bit of a design through it. It's going to be a hat, so we'll see what. And I haven't got a hat with a pom pom, and I think that should come about.
Faux fur pom pom or a yarn pom pom? Because I have some faux fur ones still.
Well, I know there's some that are very outdoorsy and real.
Yeah.
And I'm considering that, but I don't have one, so we'll see. Yeah. But I like the furry look, if not fur itself, because there's quite a few garments that have been made in the past and they are being repurposed. Mm-hmm. So that would be the only way that I would use a real animal fur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I have some faux fur ones that are quite nice. There's a range of different colors there. So,
but I would put it on natural. So I could take it off and
yeah,
put it on
those ones they have like a little elastic thing on the bottom, so you can tie. I think I put a button on the one I did for my niece. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the ones now you have the tie,
so
which I've worn one, but it just gets caught in my hair. I don't know.
Yes,
anyway,
it depends
we'll figure
on
it out for you.
What you need. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but I have a couple of cast-ons. Well, you saw the socks that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I have done tension swatch for my Felix sweater. Now, there was one gal that, when I talked about my Felix sweater, it's by
Amy Christoffers.
Amy Christoffers, thank you. And I did a tension swatch, and she said that it would be really, really loosely woven, and she's right. I haven't blocked this, or so I'm considering going to get
tweed.
something to go with it to make it less see-through. But I'm undecided because because it is somewhat toothy, I would wear something under it, so like underneath a white shirt. Mm-hmm. Or a white shirt under or something like that. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. So undecided, but I love this yarn. It's beautiful color. Beautiful. It's got all little speckles of other things in it, like even orange and blue and brown and gray. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Love that kind of yarn.
This is, just so you all know, this is Rowan felted tweed. Mm-hmm. I tried already. That's not coming off.
Okay. And I got it from our local yarn
Rowan
shop.
felted tweed.
A Twist of Yarn.
Made in Italy.
In Vernon, BC, yes. And they have some beautiful colors in there. And so I've been itching to do that. Mm-hmm. So we'll get her started. Okay, so that's all the things that I have on here.
On your needles.
On my needles, cast on.
Yeah.
But there's a few other things that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so just because I can't really show a ton of the stuff that I'm knitting right now because it is gift knitting and I'm not 100% sure who watches the podcast or podcasts with me. So I can't show a lot of that. But one thing do you want to put yours on? I'll put mine on. One thing I did for previous years is, let's get this right up in the hair here.
Yep. Get rid of all the flow fuzzies. There we go.
So I usually have this with my hair down.
Oh, you go like that.
But this is the Emma cabled ear warmer.
And it does. It warms your ears.
This is by, I wanted to say Taylor. Oh, that's not right. By Vanessa Knits. Vanessa was one of my Fiber Share buddies. And she gifted me this pattern as part of the Fiber Share. So this is knit. These ones are knit with some chunky Malabrigo, actually. Yeah, if you can take them off now if you want.
Not
And
so
it
flattering when
is
you're
just
indoors.
back and forth, and it's got this beautiful braided cable.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it as thick as you want to, like as wide, and they stretch really nice and wash really nice.
And it's not too tight.
No, and it's perfect for going out and taking the dog for a walk and keeping your ears warm and whatnot. So if you're looking for a quick gift knit, I think I knit like close to 20 of these one year.
That's a lot.
And because you just do them on straight needles, I had like 3 different colors going at once.
Good for you.
I did. And so they've been very well loved by who has gotten them. So that's one thing. The cabled ear warmer.
And I have some fingerless mitts that I have made, and Taylor Earl has a similar pattern. It's called Fire Pit Mitts, and it's similar to this. And I just made this up myself. This is just a small cable that has felted really well, and it pulls it in a little bit, but you can do whatever you want. Tailors are a lot longer, but it depends on how much yarn you have and what you like, but they are really warm. And if you don't want to use that part, you can just tuck the thumb in like so and use it for just like a wrist warmer. So if you need to use your fingers or your hands more, there's just a lump there, and it just makes it longer. So I made those quite some time ago. I made a lot of them some time ago, and these ones I kept for myself. So that's one thing. And you had something else, Myoka?
Yeah, so I was watching Leslie Friend. Hi, Leslie. I don't know if you're watching us or not, but I watched Leslie Friend from A Friend to Knit With. I really enjoy her podcast.
Oh, she's nice. I
just
started
so
watching
calm
her.
and beautiful and very quick. Like, she's just in and out to the point. Podcast is done, right? I love it.
We should learn
just
from
talk
that.
about plants a lot. But she was talking about scrubbies, and like one of her road trip things is scrubbies. She buys scrubby yarn, and so my mother-in-law, she's like, asked if Joanne asked if I could make some scrubbies, because she was buying them at the farmer's market and whatnot. And so anyway, I was like, yeah, absolutely. So she showed me one of the scrubbies that she had in her kitchen sink, and I thought, oh yeah, sure, I can.
That's crocheted.
I'll go find the that yarn, and I'll go and I could picture what I'm looking for, right? That style, and go and look for it. So I went to our local yarn store first. They had scrubby yarn, but this wasn't it. Then I went to a couple dollar stores, and I went to Walmart, and I couldn't find what I was looking for. I went to Fabricland. And so I got back to my office. It was my lunch break, and I felt very deterred and frustrated. So I called Pinterest. I'm like, Pinterest, Googled it, searched it. What is it made out of? Oh, yeah, it's not yarn. It's netting, like tulle.
Tulle, yes.
So then I screenshot it and sent it to Mom. Mom, do you have any tulle? Yeah, of course I do. But it's white.
Well, I had a few different colors,
White
but there
and yellow.
wasn't quite enough to make a scrubby with
Yeah,
than
so
white. Yeah.
then I held it double-stranded with the yarn that I'd gotten from, I think this stuff was from Walmart. But you can see it's just not, it wasn't crunchy scrubby, it was just scrubby. So I held it together with that. And yes, this is crochet. Very simple, free pattern. I think you chain 5, put it in a loop, double crochet 12 into that loop, double crochet 2 into those 12, and you can be done with that, or you can double it or whatever you want. So I went to Fabricland. They had a whole bunch of tulle netting on sale. And then what you do, the reason I have a chip clip on it is because you want this edge to be really nice and thin, or nice and even. So then you cut about 3/4 of an inch.
With a rotary cutter?
No, I used to use scissors.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, a rotary cutter would work faster.
Not with that thick, though.
Depends on how
I used
many
to use
layers.
scissors. And
Yeah.
I got my yarn going here.
Uh-oh. Get caught.
And so I just cut it. And then what you do is you tie your ends together as you're going.
And no, it doesn't matter which way.
And it doesn't matter which way. You just pull it nice and tight like that. And then you just create a long thing, and for however long you need it. And you can kind of see where there's, maybe you can't see. There, right at the top, there's a bit of an end sticking out, but it doesn't really matter. And you just kind of weave it in. And I did a couple like this that are double.
That one's double?
This one's just, no, this
With
one's
the other
just
yarn.
held with the other
Mhm.
yarn and chunky and...
And I've seen them too that you have 2 layers, one or 2 of
Yeah,
these,
like
and then you
there's-
stuff some of the tulle inside of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I found that those ones, they don't dry as quickly, so of course they get some bacteria and start
The
to
one I
smell
have in
a
our
bit.
sink right now, I won't get it because it's in our sink and it's dirty. I crochet 2, and then I join them. I just single crocheted all around the outside, so there's 2 layers of it, and I like that a little bit better than just the single. Did I give you one yet? There you go.
No,
Have a
thank you.
scrubby with
Okay.
your stuff. So it was funny because I was just crocheting and bang, bang, bang.
Thank you.
I wanted to see how many I could get done, and I would crochet and throw one at my husband on the couch and crochet and throw it. He's like, time yourself. I said, pardon? He's like, time yourself.
Yeah.
13 minutes.
13 minutes. And
I could probably go
one
faster.
like this, once they seen better days, when they've seen better days, into the trash.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, really awesome gift knitting. Like I said, if you're trying to find this, Amazon did have it. It was really expensive in my opinion. And I wanted to support a local store. Fabricland is owned by
And
a
I think
local family.
Joanne's down in the States has.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
Hobby
it's just,
Lobby or
it's
something
basically
like that.
like your, kind of like your crinoline netting, right?
Mhm.
Someone said,
Like little tutus.
oh, I should just use the extra stuff that came off my wedding dress. I'm like, sure,
sure.
if you want. But you want kind of like the stiffer stuff. There is some fine, but you want the stiffer with the bigger holes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I got it for $2 a yard at Fabricland. And I've
Very minimal.
very minimal. And I've made a lot.
That's
and
good.
gifted a lot away. So
Good.
super fast, super easy. It is crochet. There were some knitted patterns as well, but I just found the crochet. Whoop, whoop. I used to crochet before, and
also too, it's really good for your pots and pans, so they don't scratch them like a steel wheel would.
yeah. And so scrubbies,
Mm-hmm.
scrubbies, awesome for stockings or whatever else, right? Just a gift.
And I got one more thing to show and something to share. So this little girl, did you get a chance to play with this little girl?
No,
when you
she
were
was
little?
always not I wasn't allowed.
When I was an adult, I'm still an adult. After my children, my girls
Before
all
I grew up.
Before you grew up, but I'm still a kid in heart sometimes. So this little girl came from a lady down, I think, Vancouver Island. I saw a friend of mine who had this little girl at her house for her child. And I said, oh my goodness, I love her. And she didn't have red hair. But I ordered this little girl, you can see her face, with red hair because there's not too many of us around. So she's got this beautiful clothing that has her
Don't show her bum on the internet.
Okay. It's all right. Morally okay. She's all knit. She's got these really neat little boots on. Her hands are different. And she's got this wild curly hair, which mine's not wild, but anyways. And then her dress is crocheted. And I turned it inside out because it's a little bit faded on the other side. But I love her, and I do share with her with some of my special family members. But she's mine. Never too old to have a baby doll. Yes.
I would love to knit a doll like that.
I would go
for different patterns, but it's just not anywhere.
I would go to Susan B. Anderson's. I bet you could find a pattern or close to that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's fun. She's like almost like a Mexican rainbow dress, which is very, very nice now. And I have something for you too, Myoka.
Well, just wait. Can I show you one more thing?
Oh yeah, you got to show me. Okay, show me.
Guess what came in the mail?
Mail? Oh my goodness! It's so exciting to get things from the mail.
Sweet Skein of Mine.
Amanda!
So Miss Amanda from Sweet Skein of Mine released some of her Christmas colorways. She's kind of been doing like little lumps of them. And so this is Rudolph.
Oh, look at that. You have to look really, really close. It's
like
not doing its justice.
Speckling is just
look at this right here.
Incredible.
Oh, just lovely.
It's got the pinks and the reds. So Merry Christmas.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
some more socks.
So that's Rudolph. This is peppermint bark. And again, it's kind of got like that chocolate chip mint orange greeny color to it. So these are the ones that I ordered from her her thing.
Lovely. Let me hold those. No.
That's okay. So I wanted to gift one to you.
Oh, thank you.
But then she sent off more goodies for us. So this one is called Jack Frost.
Oh, yes. What a good name.
And this is called Winter Berry. And look at that
Oh,
cute little candy
cane.
cane stitch marker on there that's hiding.
And I noticed on this one
Stitch
there's a stitch marker.
Yeah.
Too on here.
Yeah. And so
idea.
she says, Dear Myoka, thank you, my friend. I hope you are all well. I've enclosed some extra goodies for you and your mom. Happy knitting.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
So
Thank
that
you,
was
Amanda.
already for you.
Oh, my.
And then she gave us a couple of masks. She's dyeing her own masks.
Oh, lovely.
I don't know what color you would prefer.
Not purple.
All right, blue it is.
Oh, aren't those? And they're knit.
So she's
knit
got
fabric.
it's just like a nice easy cotton. And so she gifted
Oh,
us, and she's dyed them
comfortable.
as well, as you can tell, some
it's
of like the
comfortable.
similar colors.
Oh, lovely.
So she
Oh,
gifted
Amanda,
us
thank you.
those. And I can't decide which one I like.
Oh, my goodness, girl. I think you should keep them both. I know where they are if I need one.
Or maybe I'll make
Who's
something.
gonna write
Maybe I'll
whose
make shorty
stash?
socks out of these for both of us or something.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes. That would be a hat. That
This
would be
is
a
a
really
hat.
nice hat. Not a super bulky, but a bulky weight hat.
So thanks,
With a
Amanda.
pom-pom.
You always spoil
Oh,
us
that's so
rotten.
nice.
I never ever
Thank
want you to
you.
send more than what I order, but
Oh,
you
what a
always do, and it
special
just makes me
treat.
so happy.
So
Thank you.
If you need some beautiful yarn,
Yes,
go to
yes. She
Please
just
Skin
did
Mine. and
lit
find what she
lit
has.
up, I think it was, and it was basically kind of a white base, and it had really sharp pops of color in it, and
Oh,
Get Lit, I can't remember,
Get
but
Lit. Oh,
basically it
maybe
was
it
like
is.
lights, like oh, it was so. Her colors are
Aw.
amazing. You have to catch her Etsy updates when they come through. So Instagram is a really good way to keep up with that because they go quickly. But I love her speckling. She does such a good job.
and she's from Nova Scotia, Canada.
Fredericton, New Brunswick.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fredericton, New Brunswick.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
So yeah, she sent that
That's
for us
great.
as well. So lots of
thank
gifts
you
and
so
goodies.
much. That's very thoughtful of you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I have something for you.
Oh goodness. Is it Christmas? Oh, my
This
tummy's
goes-
growling.
No, it's lunchtime.
Oh.
So I have a new friend, well, fairly new friend from my area, and this is her ranch. I'm not going to write, I'll hold that up. Lone Sequoia Ranch, and she raises sheep. She's a shepherdess,
Yes.
Leanna, and she's a sweetheart.
I haven't got to meet her yet, but we talked
I
on
did.
Instagram. Hi, Leanna.
Yes, so good to see you, girl.
Yeah.
And she had an idea because she used up all the yarn or all the wool that she had.
You have to
had
explain a little
sheared.
bit further. She has a fiber as animals. She's
Animals,
got,
yes, just fiber.
sheep.
Navajo churro,
Yeah.
specialty sheep
Mm-hmm.
that she raises, and her flock has grown.
Mhm.
She's added to her flock, and they're just gorgeous sheep. And you can follow her on Instagram.
Yes, I think I've shared a couple different stories from her because she does talk a little bit about what goes into farming fiber animals and the behind the scenes and
And
yeah.
she has had her sheep shorn this spring. Look at those natural
fiber.
colors. And she has spun some of her own, and it's beautiful. It's a bulky. It's not super bulky, but it's bulky and it's beautiful with different
learning
colors.
to spin.
Well,
She said she doesn't spin often, and so when she's spinning, it's not even.
which makes it so lovely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so when you buy from her, you can't buy like a large quantity
No,
at a
it's very
time. It's
small.
usually like very small, like a hat or like an ear warmer or
Mhm.
something. But she does show lots of different stockists that buy her fleece. Is that the correct term for it?
Rovings.
Rovings. And then they spin it and weave it.
And she has
and
taken
make
some
it.
to a
So-
custom woolen mill in
Sequoia.
Alberta.
Yeah.
Canada.
Okay, sorry.
And
I just
she
wanted
has,
to give some more background
thank
on
you.
her. Yeah.
And she has sold some of her rovings at our local yarn shop. And I don't know if she has very much stock right now, but she had a plan. And this is a very smart young lady. She has a plan that she was going to make some calendars so that she could make some money, because she didn't want to take it out of her own pocket, which is very smart. So she made some calendars so that she could raise funds to buy fleeces from other farms in our local area, and then use those fleeces to make more yarn so that she can spin more. And so what a smart lady. And I said, yes, I'm in. So
Oh my goodness.
happy birthday. Not happy birthday. Merry Christmas early.
Thank you.
So she's got pictures of the animals from her farm. And she's a very busy lady. She has 2 children.
She works at the vet office locally here.
And she's such a sweetheart.
Betty.
Hi, Leanna. And
I think she still has some calendars available.
I'm not sure. You'd have to check her site
How
and
many?
see. Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, her Mimi the house
chickens.
chicken. Her whole idea was a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, some farmers who do not raise their animals for fiber will discard of the fiber, so it will get thrown out. Because it is,
or burn or discarded somehow.
It's discarded somehow because it is, from my understanding, what she's explained, it's more expensive to process it and deal with it than it is to sell it or get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she just doesn't want to see this beautiful fiber go to waste, and wants to buy the fleece from some other local farmers in our area that are willing to sell it. It's not a giveaway. It's not a huge cost, from my understanding. To purchase it, but then you do need to process it,
which is take off the yucky parts of the fleece, like the bottom layer of the fleece. I don't know this really well, and then you have to wash it really well, and have it, card it, which is stretching out the fibers, and then processing that to make it into rovings or to spin it. But she's got it going on. Like, she knows what she's doing, and she is a sweetheart.
Martha. The names of her animals are wonderful.
And she takes good care of her animals. And she lives close to where I used to live about 40 years ago in an area. And it's just a very nice farm. And she does really well, her and her husband and her girls. And just a real down-to-earth young lady.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful. That's really exciting.
And so go girl. Hope you can find some more yarn and spin and process that and go forward with your wonderful idea and thought. And we're very proud of you.
And very, I can't think of words today, but just really excited to learn a little bit more about the back end of fiber
where your
farming
yarn comes from,
and where our yarn comes from, and the hard work that goes into it. And she puts a lot of love into her animals, and you can tell. Another one I've been following just online is A Wooden Nest. Lindsay and her family from A Wooden Nest, and they have some new fiber animals, and they're showing how they're teaching them how to be on the lead and giving them like brush downs and stuff. And so that's just really, really eye-opening, that when we have our beautiful fiber that we're knitting with, where it comes from, right? And ethically sourcing it. And
I think it's really unique if you go to a small farm and you get the yarn from an animal, say it's Archie. So this fiber from Archie made into a sweater. It's like, okay, this is my Archie sweater. Cool. That's to know exactly where that yarn comes from, know how the animal's taken care of, and all the way to making it into a garment to be used is really nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
And there's a farm in Prince Edward Island, Fleece and Harmony. They have a lot of sheep, and they have a mill there, Kim and Jennifer. And they don't know all their sheep, but they do take excellent care of them. They've had a few surprise lambs this past spring, bottle feeding them. They'll do whatever it takes to keep those animals healthy and well taken care of. Vets and stuff. And Prince Edward Island is a small island in the Maritimes of Canada. And There's not, I don't know that much about that area, so I shouldn't say. But it is a very quaint, close to Newfoundland, not too far from Newfoundland, which we have wonderful characters living in that area. And we always enjoy them when they come west and we get to meet them and see them and talk with them. So good luck to you, Fleece and Harmony, Kim and Jen. So we love those kind of stories. We love how that goes.
Just learning about it. I know there's one book I read a while ago, and I think I passed it on to you from the library. It was Slow Knitting.
Yes.
Amazing. And it talks about ethically sourced fiber and ethically sourcing how to process it at the mills, and even reading up on Tanis Fiber Arts. They talk a little bit about their pure wash that they use now, and how Chris, the husband and the dyer behind Tanis Fiber Arts, sorry, knocked the table, he showed a bucket of water, and he's like trying to use less and less water to do the dyeing side of things. And just like we have this beautiful craft and this beautiful art, but we don't always think about what goes into the back end of it to create our yarn and to create our fiber, and what are we doing in the environment to create it, right? How much is washed down the drain for dye and going into our water systems? How much is an animal being harmed in order to get the fleece? Like all that kind of stuff that we just don't always know about. And not to say that everyone is bad, but just to learn the process, the ins and outs of it in the process, and to really appreciate when something is on your skin that this was an animal, right? Like this is an animal.
Yes, like how many silkworms for the silk yarn.
Absolutely.
And yes, we do buy commercial yarn, and we love it and we enjoy it. But we appreciate our indie dyers, and we're really hoping that they do their dyeing ethically well.
And just like I said, learning a little bit more about it as well. And part of my we talked about last time, our rabbit hole of self dyeing, natural dyeing. I have been reading more about it and getting lots of books in the library. I haven't dyed anything else yet.
You might have to wait till January.
It's really snowy out there now, but I didn't want to just buy any random yarn to dye. I wanted some more information on what I was buying to dye, and that kind of tied in really well with Leanna and her information and her calendars and stuff like that. So really interesting to look into and learn about. And
it does take a lot of water to do natural dyeing. A lot of water.
Wasn't too bad for me.
No. Well,
I might not have done it right, but
I didn't put it down the drain. I put it elsewhere. So so just out on the lawn somewhere, so it's not going to go right down into the system. So that's kind of all I really talked about knitting. One other thing is, I don't know if you saw a couple days ago, but Mary Lisa from A Girl Meets Yarns has watched our podcast. Hi, Mary Lisa. Lovely lady.
I just recently found her podcast. I think I watched it a while ago, and I'm very, very humbled by her strength and her candor and her just open honesty from what her journey has been over this past year and a bit, and sending strength and love to you, Mary Lisa. I just I cried with you several times on your podcast, and just your beauty shines so brightly. And thank you for watching, and thank you for giving us a little bit of a shout out. We've gained a few more followers because of that, and it just makes our group of people here that much wider and far spread. So thank you.
So keep on keeping on, girl. You're doing it right.
Amazing.
And not every day is going to be a good day. That's okay. Just one day at a time.
One of my absolute favorite things I saw was when she rang the bell, when she was done her treatments. Just like full goosebumps. It was amazing. Amazing. So thank you again for watching us. I know we've watched you for a bit now, and it's really cool to kind of connect with people across the world online and have all these wonderful friends. I know we've said it time and time again that we feel so connected to. And so thank you for sharing to anybody who shares and recommends our podcast. It's just really neat to connect with so many different people. And we love hearing from you. We love our comments. Even though we might not get to them right away, we read them.
We do them. Yeah, we do read them up.
Like I said, any extra questions that you have for us or anything you'd like to see more of, let us know, because it's very fun.
Yes. There's only one other person that I want to talk about, and she has several new patterns out, and her name is her podcast is The Autumn Acorn. Her name is Judy, and she has she's got a knit-along going on with some special socks that are supposed to be really easy to make, and so she's got a knit-along with that and her new pattern. And then she also has a sweater, one Love sweater. It's called. It's a cardigan. It is gorgeous. It's very beautiful. So it's in my library.
Have you connected with
library?
Judy?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good.
Message back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has she got a chance to watch our podcast?
I don't know if she has or not. I'll have to mention that to her.
Hi, Judy, if you have.
Yes, hi, Judy. And she's got a wonderful home, a log home, and a beautiful black cat, Meryl. And she dyes yarn naturally, and she's just a real go-getter. She's a very lovely lady. And thank you, Judy, for sharing your life with us as well.
That's awesome. Awesome.
So
I think that's wrapped up for the day. My tummy's growling. I don't know if you can hear it, but
I heard it.
It's lunchtime.
It's lunchtime, and hopefully we won't be as long to podcast next to go around and have a little more to show with you.
One thing I am considering, and I haven't 100% decided yet, is I actually have a good 2 weeks off over the Christmas and New Year break.
Oh, yes.
And I might do a little bit of a vlog.
If you say it, you'll have to do it.
October? I don't know.
Holotober?
Holotober? I might. We'll see. I might just throw a few more things in there. Yeah, because I'll actually be home, and I definitely get into some more crafty things during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And so there might be a few more videos that way. I don't know if I'll be able to do a Vlogmas every day, because I don't think my life is that interesting for you.
Depends on where you go and what you're doing.
Yeah, probably a lot of home time. But stay tuned
and
for
you
some
were
more.
working on your craft room. How's that going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's messy.
I saw the before.
I get down there. Oh, I forgot to show this really quick.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
I was down. Actually, I still have a few apron orders coming through. So,
Look at this. Oops, twisted this way.
Yeah, thank you.
Apron orders.
So these are the beautiful crossback aprons that I've been sewing out of this lovely linen.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this color Shiraz is my last of this color, but I still have lots of fabric left over. If anyone's still considering an apron, I'm happy to. I can't promise a turnaround time just because I am still working quite a bit, but I am happy to sew a couple aprons up for some Christmas gifts. They got the lovely pocket in the front. I haven't stitched my leather tag yet.
Or pennies.
Pennies.
Gaina.
Yes.
I washed mine the other day. It gets a lot of use, and it's so comfortable. It's not even like you're wearing one.
Yeah. And so I was down there doing a little bit of, I double stitched that front there.
Oh, that's well done. Yes.
Just enjoying my craft room, but it's really messy, and I'm trying to organize it. And I would love to do a craft room tour.
Someday.
So
maybe that's our New Year's resolution.
Getting that cleaned up and organized. I mean, I know where things are, but no one else would. Is kind of encouraging me.
I can't hide things in my sewing room that I don't want her to see, because she'll come in and help herself.
Even today, I was getting ready for the podcast, and Mom was already in my sewing room.
Yeah, I need some yarn. I'm gonna go see if you got some.
Yeah. So anyway, be well. Be safe.
Take care, and enjoy life as much as you can. Be outdoors if you can. Share messages with good friends, and
remember just to take that inhale and relax and enjoy your craft that we have, because it truly is an art that settles,
enjoys. Yeah.
Anyway, love you.
Love you too.
Have a good day.
Care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.